know it's shown up. This is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Wanted to do a Friday video. Why? Because I just wanted to. I want to talk about some rumors and speculation about Cam Ward. Listen, I like Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward should be the guy. I've said this before. I've said it a million times. When the start of the season came in, I was just not overly impressed with Cam Ward. I saw, you saw what he's been doing in college. You saw what he did in college. I wasn't a big fan of what he did at, over at Washington State. I like some of his intangibles, but he's like fungus. He's kind of grown on me. The more and more you watch Cam Ward, the more and more you see him play, the more and more you see his intangibles, you kind of get a little excited.
That's what she said.
And I think it was Pat Leonard that came out the other day. And we're not going to hit Pat with our famous
stupid giant Twitter post.
Because really it wasn't a stupid giant Twitter post. It was just some of the speculation and some of the people that had around that post was kind of make it a little crazy. He basically came out and said, and he gave the thought process of firing Dable and Shane because of the fact that they would probably draft a quarterback in 2025 just to save their jobs. Yeah, of course they would. And a new regime that came in wouldn't do that because they know it's a rebuilding process. We've been rebuilding for 11 years. And I kind of think that if a new regime came in and they had a top 2 pick, they probably would take either Sanders or Ward. Because in the NFL, it's extremely difficult to play without a QB1 under center or just a QB under center. So why I don't think that that's a stupid Twitter post. I just think it's kind of short-sighted because you have no clue what a regime would want to do. You may bring in some guys that love Cam Ward, love Mr. Sanders. I don't think Sanders is coming here. I don't think Neon's going to let him come here. But you may find a regime that loves one of these two guys. And speaking of love for Cam Ward, a highly, I'm going to say a former Miami booster, guaranteed that the Giants will draft Ward, and Shannon Dawson is going to come and be the current offense coordinator of the Miami Dolphins. Miami Hurricanes is going to come with him and be the offensive coordinator for the Giants. This was on the Pac-Man Jones show. I guess this is on TikTok. I don't really know. I had some people trying to explain it to me, but I listened to some of it. And he says, Nevin Shapiro said, I'm being told by reliable sources that Cam Ward is going to the New York Giants guaranteed, and that the University of Offensive Miami coordinator is going to go with him, Shannon Dawson. When questioned about the credibility of the source, Shapiro basically told Pac-Man, holler at me April 25th or 26th, whenever the draft is. Don't you think if you're making this kind of assertion that you might want to know when the draft is? I mean, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. Now, this is a guy that Shapiro, people that don't remember, was a major booster for the University of Miami, and that was years ago. Years ago with him, and he basically served 20. I think it was 20 years in jail, or maybe he is still in jail for almost $1 billion Ponzi scheme. He doesn't really have any football connections to the NFL or the football industry, and I kind of just think that it's a kind of a stupid statement to make, but it is the Pac-Man Jones show. So, and then I just laugh because if you see some people on Giant Twitter. And other parts of social media going, this might not be a bad idea. Does nobody remember the Mike Kafka experiment? Where at least Mike Kafka had NFL experience. and we made the stupid decision to do what we did 2 years ago. And now Brian Daboll's had to take over the place for Kafka. So now, and I'm not knocking Shannon Dawson. I'm not knocking him whatsoever because I don't really fully know the man. I don't know much about him outside of what he has done recently, at Miami. And that's what kind of makes you laugh, because when you start doing some research on the guy, he was the wide receivers coach at Wingate back in 2002. So Wingate's a Division II team. So he's been in the league since 2002. He's gone from Wingate to Southern Eastern Louisiana, New Mexico State, Stephen F. Austin University, University of West Virginia, Kentucky, Southern Miss, Houston, and now Miami. His claim to fame in college football was that he, first of all, that he worked with Nick Mullins, formerly of the 49ers. I don't know where Nick is now. That was over at Southern Miss. His other claim to fame is when he was the offensive coordinator in Houston, the Cougars threw for 87 touchdown passes in a 3-year period. That's his claim to fame. He's bounced around quite a bit. And at times he's bouncing around not from major university to major university. He's bouncing around from like Division II, Division III, Division I. And then he finally landed in Houston, and his success seems to be greatly tied into Cam Ward. And we've said this before with the likes of Brian Dable and Josh Allen. Man made the money, money never made the man. But in this case, Josh Allen made Brian Dable. If we want to be 100% honest, they made Brian Dable. He made Brian Dable. So I'm not saying I'm saying that I'm going to say, you know what, I am saying it. Cam Ward made Shannon Dawson. Cam Ward made Shannon Dawson, not the other way around. This is a guy that had talent. He just needed to hit the transfer portal and find a better place to go to really showcase his talents. And like I said, it would be, and if you're bringing in a new regime, you can't say, listen, we're going to draft Cam Ward, but you have to take this guy's offensive coordinator if you want the job. Because they already did that with Joe Shane and Brian Dable. They were probably like, convince us that you can make Daniel Jones into a quarterback. And they're like, sure we can. Probably knowing damn well that the ship's going to sink when you have him. I always go back to Michael Ray Richardson, formerly of the Knicks. The ship be sinking. And this ship be sinking for a while now. So, of course, they're going to say anything they can get to land this, what they were, I guess you would consider a prime job for the Giants. But at the end of the day, it didn't work out because Daniel Jones did not have the talent. I think Cam Ward has the talent. I think Sanders has the talent. I don't think there's another quarterback after these two guys. Like I said, this is the 2022 draft where you had Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis, and both of those guys flamed out. This is more of a Mitchell. I don't think this is a Mitchell Trubisky, but I also don't think this is a Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf. I do think this is more of a C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young scenario. Because I think both of these guys, and Sanders and Ward, have the talent, have the size, have the moxie, have the ability to be good starting quarterbacks. I never want to say great because you never want to put that moniker on anyone until they at least play in the league for 3 years. But I do think these guys have the ability and can make a difference for a team like New York. And for everyone who keeps yelling about how much cap space we have next year, yeah, because you don't have a quarterback on the roster. The majority of times when a team has a large or a plethora of cap space, you know what that means.
You say I have a plethora of piñatas?
That means more than likely you don't have a quarterback on the roster. And we don't. So anyone that comes in here, you're gonna roll with Sam Darnold's not leaving Minnesota. He'd be stupid to leave Minnesota. You're gonna roll with the likes of Jameis Winston. Listen, I like Jameis Winston. I liked him back in Tampa because, like I said, he's a quarterback. There was never a pass that he didn't like, but there are a lot of passes he just shouldn't have thrown. But at the end of the day, you can't speculate that the Giants are going to go with this guy from college just because he has the Cam Ward connection. Cam Ward has been successful with him because I think it's the other way around. I honestly think that, Cam Ward made this guy, not the other way around. And I think we kind of have to leave it at that. Come, chameleons. You come and go, you come and go. And I think that's just the way we need to leave it and kind of just back away from that because I think it's a stupid premise. That's why, and like I said, it's just until, like I said, to Pat Leonard. I'm not saying anything about Pat Leonard. I'm just saying this. I do find it interesting that we discuss this. Not thinking of the fact that one of these guys, like I said, may be extremely in love with Cam Ward or Sanders. You don't know. We can't say. But we have to take a look at this. We have to think about it. We have to let it maturate. We have to go around and see what it is. But we don't know yet. We're going to do a video next week. in reference to we already said. No, listen, Belichick is gone, so just leave it be. About who the Giants head coach should be. I'm gonna try to make the game on Sunday. Got a lot of people coming out. We're gonna hang out with like James Williams and T. Brad and a bunch of Swing Culture TV and a bunch of other people. But of course, right now, one of my sons wakes up with 102 fever, so that's just the life of a parent. If we don't go to the game, we definitely will have a live stream, and the bug doesn't run through the entire house. We will have a live stream on Sunday if we don't go to the game. So no video tomorrow. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. Oh, that'll be awesome.